Today, we step into one of the most heartbreaking chapters, the stories of famous female celebrities whose lives were violently taken by people who once claimed to admire them. These were not peaceful endings. They were sudden, devastating moments where admiration turned into deadly obsession, shattering dreams, families, and entire communities. In this video, we remember the women whose lives were cut short by the very people who call themselves fans. Christina Victoria Grimmie, the beloved American singer, songwriter, and YouTube star who brought warmth, hope, and extraordinary talent to a new generation of music lovers, passed away on June 10, 2016, at the age of just 22. Her death was one of the most shocking and heartbreaking moments in recent memory because it unfolded not on a distant stage, but right in the middle of what she loved most, personally meeting and thanking her fans. That evening, she had just finished a show with the band Before You Exit at the Plaza Live in Orlando and, as always, stayed behind at the merchandise table to sign autographs, pose for photos, and give hugs. In the middle of this kind, everyday moment, a man who had become dangerously fixated on her approached. Christina, open-hearted as ever, held out her arms to greet him, unaware of the threat, and in seconds he pulled a gun and shot her at close range. Her brother Marcus immediately tackled the attacker, likely saving many others, but Christina had already suffered catastrophic injuries. She was rushed to Orlando Regional Medical Center where doctors fought to save her life, but she was pronounced dead shortly after. Born on March 12, 1994 in Marlton, New Jersey, Christina grew up in a loving home where music was her first language. She began singing at 6, taught herself piano at 10, and by 15 had built a loyal online following with heartfelt covers uploaded under the name Zeldax Love 64. Her debut EP Find Me in 2011 and first album with Love in 2013 revealed her as more than a cover artist, and soon she was opening for Selena Gomez, performing at major events and winning awards for her vocals and her humility. In 2014, she reached a national stage on season 6 of The Voice, where all 4 coaches turned their chairs. She chose Adam Levine and finished third, winning millions of hearts with her power and warmth. By 2016, she had released Side A and filmed her first movie, The Matchbreaker, showing the world that her future stretched far beyond music. Even after her death, her voice continued through the posthumous releases Side B and All Is Vanity, and her family created the Christina Grimmie Foundation to support victims of violence and families fighting cancer. Christina's story is remembered not only for its cruel ending, but for the incredible promise, generosity, and courage she embodied. A young artist who gave everything to her fans, and whose legacy still inspires kindness, safety, and hope today. Selena Quintanilla Pérez, the beloved American singer, songwriter, and fashion icon who brought warmth, glamour, and extraordinary energy to audiences around the world, passed away on March 31, 1995, at the age of only 23. Her death remains one of the most heartbreaking moments in music history because it was not an illness or an accident, but a violent betrayal by someone she had trusted for years. On that spring morning in Corpus Christi, Texas, Selena went to the Days Inn Motel to meet Yolanda Saldivar, the woman who had run her fan club and boutiques, to collect missing financial documents after weeks of mounting tension. True to her generous nature, she believed the meeting could be calm and businesslike, but inside the motel room an argument broke out, and as Selena turned to leave, Saldivar drew a revolver and shot her once in the back. The bullet tore through her subclavian artery, causing massive blood loss. Even while gravely wounded, Selena managed to run from the room, across the parking lot, and into the lobby, crying out for help and naming her attacker before collapsing on the floor. Paramedics rushed her to Memorial Medical Center and doctors performed emergency surgery, but the damage was too severe and she was pronounced dead at 1:05 p.m. News of her murder raced across Texas and Mexico within minutes, sending her family, fans, and the entire Latin music world into shock and grief. Selena was born on April 16, 1971, in Lake Jackson, Texas, to Abraham and Marcela Quintanilla. She began singing at 6 years old with her father's band, Selena y Los Dinos, alongside her brother A.B. and sister Suzette. The family struggled financially, touring small fairs and restaurants in an old bus, but Selena's voice and charisma quickly made her a standout. By her teens, she was already winning Tejano Music Awards, breaking into a male-dominated genre by blending Spanish and English influences into a fresh, youthful sound. Her albums Entre Mi Mundo and Amor Prohibido broke records. She won a Grammy for Selena Live, and her dazzling costumes and warm smile made her a style icon. Offstage, she opened her own boutiques and was working on her Dream English language crossover album Dreaming of You when her life was cut short. Even though she was taken so young, Dreaming of You debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, making Selena the first Latin artist to achieve that milestone. Texas declared April 16th Selena Day. Her story inspired books, documentaries, and a major film, and generations of young performers have cited her as a trailblazer. Today, her voice, fashion, and spirit still fill parties, radio stations, and hearts, keeping alive the memory of a young woman who changed music forever and whose light continues to shine long after she was taken. Rebecca Lucille Schaeffer, the beloved American television actress and model who brought innocence, warmth, and extraordinary charm to audiences across the country, passed away on July 18, 1989, at the age of just 21. Her death was not a quiet farewell, but one of Hollywood's most shocking tragedies, because it came at the hands of an obsessed fan who turned his admiration into deadly violence. That Tuesday morning in West Hollywood, Rebecca was at home, getting ready for what she hoped would be a life-changing audition for The Godfather Part 3. She heard a knock at the door and, thinking it was a script delivery, opened it to find Robert John Bardo, a disturbed young man who had been stalking her. Earlier that day, he had already shown up once with an autograph she had sent him years before, and she had politely asked him to leave, but he returned minutes later, still seething. When she opened the door the second time, he pulled out a .357 revolver and shot her once in the chest at point-blank range. Neighbors heard the shot and rushed to help as Rebecca collapsed in her doorway, reportedly whispering, "Why?" before losing consciousness. Paramedics rushed her to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but the injury to her heart was catastrophic, and she was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. News of her murder spread instantly and stunned the entertainment world, prompting a wave of grief and anger that helped drive California to pass the nation's first anti-stalking laws. Rebecca had been born on November 6, 1967, in Eugene, Oregon, the only child of Dana and Dr. Benson Schaeffer. Raised in Portland in a supportive Jewish household, she originally dreamed of becoming a rabbi before modeling beckoned in her teens. By 16, she was living in New York under elite model management, appearing in department store catalogs and commercials. Too petite for high fashion runways, she pivoted to acting, taking a short stint on Guiding Light, and then 6 months on One Life to Live. In 1986, she landed her breakout role as Patricia Patty Russell on the CBS sitcom My Sister Sam, playing the bubbly younger sister who moves in with her older sibling after their parents' death, a role that perfectly matched her own youthful optimism and made her a familiar face in millions of homes. After the show was canceled, she appeared in films like Scenes from the Class Struggle in Beverly Hills and Voyage of Terror, The Achille Lauro Affair, and became a spokesperson for the children's charity Thursday's Child, showing the same kindness off-screen that she displayed on it. Though Rebecca's life and career were cut short in an unimaginable way, her death sparked lasting changes that protect others and raised awareness about stalking and privacy. She is remembered not only for her bright talent and promising future, but also for the laws and protections that now bear her legacy. A young woman whose light continues to guide long after it was cruelly taken.